Another fabulous day in crypto. In today's show, Bitcoin price rejects CPI boost as the market Fed rate paused odds near 95%, as well as Bitcoin gets closer to a 51% attack on the altcoin market. We'll also be discussing breaking news. U.S. lawmakers file SEC Stabilization Act to fire Gary Gensler. That's right, lawmakers introduce a bill to remove the SEC chairman, but do they have the authority? I'll be breaking this down for you. Max responded, the law in El Salvador is clear. Everything not Bitcoin is an unregistered security. Now the economy is booming and it's the safest country in the hemisphere. Also in today's show, 100 X's are possible for crypto now that the doubt plagues the markets, according to crypto investor who called the market bottom. We'll also be discussing all of the SEC's claims fail, says Binance in their rebut motion to freeze the funds. And quoting Max Kaiser, the SEC is an 800-pound gorilla and CZ is like Spud Webb. CZ lost from the moment that these proceedings began. We'll also be discussing the Winklevoss twins doubling down on their Bitcoin price prediction of $500,000 despite last year's crypto winters. The billionaire still believes, or billionaires, that Bitcoin is still the trade of the decade. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more in today's show. Welcome everyone just tuning in. This is pod episode number 1311. I am your host JV and today is June 13th, 2023. Checking out the market watch here. We can see Bitcoin correcting down 0.25%, trading just above 25,700. I mean, we did hit 26,000 this morning, but we just started dumping some more. Ether is barely in the red, maintaining just above $1,700, while XRP and Cardano are also in the red, correcting, while BNB is breaking out along with Polkadot. And checking out coinmarketcap.com, the current crypto market cap still sitting above that $1 trillion milestone with about 35 billion in volume in the past 24 hours, with the Bitcoin dominance back on the climb at 47.7%, with the ETH dominance at 19.8%. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers in the past 24 hours, Terra Classic up 7%, followed by ICP up 5%, followed by Phantom up 4%. And checking out the top 100 crypto gainers for the past week, as you can see here, Luna Classic still leading the pack up 8.3%, with the biggest loser being Hex down 8.6%. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, we're currently rated 45 in fear. Yesterday at 47, last week a 44, and last month a 48, which is neutral. And welcome to everyone just joining today's episode of Crypto News Alerts, the live show. Make sure to smash that subscribe button and hit that bell icon to turn on all notifications. Now let's dive into today's Bitcoin technical analysis and check out the charts and what's happening with the King Crypto. Bitcoin fell back in line at the June 12th Wall Street Open after a brief macroeconomic data jolt felt the shift of the status quo. Here you're looking at the Bitcoin 1-hour candle chart. Data from Cointelegraph Markets Pro and Trading View showed Bitcoin continuing to circle 26,000, avoiding major volatility. And quoting Crypto Chase, equities full bull. Crypto can't even muster a small pop for us to get short. What a shame. And bets on the Fed pausing its rate hike cycle on June 14th, which is tomorrow, after the meeting with the FOMC, meanwhile climbed following the CPI event. At this time, per the CME Group's FedWatch tool, the odds stood at over 90%, having started the day at 75%. Quoting them here, disinflation continues, says TED Talks Crypto. Headline CPI prints at 4% year over year, which now takes the 3-month annualized rate to 2.21%. The Fed have long targeted 2%. Pause. And trading firm QCP likewise believed that consensus has its right and that the Fed would not raise rates further, at least this time. Quoting them here, based on high frequency indicators, U.S. inflation is falling rapidly, which will enable the FOMC to make this week's meeting their first pause in more than a year. Now, QCP acknowledged the subsequent FOMC meetings, which may yield different results, in order to appease the more hawkish committee members. Quoting them here, furthermore, we think the easing of financial conditions as a result of this massive melt-up equity rally will play at the back of their minds. Now let's discuss the Bitcoin price and the volatility. Multiple commentators noted Bitcoin had closed the gap in the CME Bitcoin futures from the weekend. As Dan Crypto Trades points out here, Bitcoin last weekend's CME gap has been closed, and that was roughly at that 26,000 $28,000 mark, it seems. And analyzing what could come next, we have crypto analyst Mikhail Van de Poppe, who says, flagging 25,000 as a potential downside entry point. Quoting him here, CME gap closed the Bitcoin, dump into FOMC as FOMC hikes 25 BPS, and then a bounce back as Powell states that they'll pause or unemployment claims come in higher than expected. All on the cards as a scenario in this case. Bidding around 25,000 makes sense, or flip to 26,500. And quoting material indicators, here's how the Bitcoin order book on Binance is set up just ahead of the U.S. economics report. Fed watchers want to see inflation numbers continuing to cool. Bulls are looking to boost for a boost from the economic data coming today and tomorrow to reclaim the range. Let me know if you agree or disagree with this analysis and how many of you are still taking advantage of this dip. Let me know in the comments right down below, and welcome to everyone joining us just tuning in. Now let's discuss Bitcoin's 51% attack on the alts. As you know, the current market dominance of the King Crypto is 47.7%, on the cusp of that 51% attack. So let's break this down, shall we? Bitcoin's percentage share in the crypto market has risen nearly 50% in the aftermath of last week's altcoin market rout. June 13th, the Bitcoin dominance chart, which tracks Bitcoin's weight against other cryptos, reached 49.29%. Like, whoa, slightly down from its 2-year highs of 49.66% seen the earlier week. Now, the surge in Bitcoin dominance comes after the U.S. SEC lawsuit against crypto exchanges Binance and Coinbase, which we witnessed last week. In its court filings, the commission accused many leading alts, including Cardano and Solana, of being unregistered securities. Bitcoin's market share typically rises during the high market stress, given that traders view it as the least volatile non-stablecoin crypto asset than most cryptos. For instance, at the height of the banking crisis in March of this year, Bitcoin's dominance versus alts have also rebounded to 50%. Not too shabby. Now, there's also other cues suggesting Bitcoin's dominance can grow further to finally break that 50% milestone. For instance, we have DWF Labs, a crypto market maker, reportedly sent millions of dollars worth of non-Bitcoin tokens to the exchanges, this potentially adding selling pressure for certain alts. Independent market analyst Stack Hodler also suggests that most crypto hedge funds would first and foremost abandon their altcoin exposure, but not everyone is bullish on Bitcoin dominance. Fellow analyst Mustache, for example, argues that the altcoin market may have bottomed once again, and as Bitcoin unable to break the 50% mark, quoting Mustache. Bitcoin is the USDT dominance about to fall? If so, we're in for a massive alt season, head and shoulders pattern forming, stochastic RSI heavily overbought, and in the last 3 years, this has led to an alt season 4 out of 5 times. Plus, the sentiment is the basement for most, which equals good. Now let's discuss Bitcoin dominance risks a pullback in June. Chart technicals suggest Bitcoin's dominance can indeed drop in the coming weeks as alts rebound. Most notably, the Bitcoin dominance chart failed to close decisively above the 50% mark since April of 2021, often reversing its gains due to an overbought weekly relative strength index, better known as the RSI. Now, Bitcoin now faces a similar scenario with a retest of the 50% level for the first time since last summer. Meanwhile, the RSI hangs just 2 points below its overbought level of 70. Therefore, if history repeats, Bitcoin's dominance will decline towards 39% by late 2023 or early 2024. But on the other hand, a breakout here will be key for the King Crypto to reach levels not seen in over 2 years. For example, analyst Crypto Rover sees a classic bullish continuation set up with 52% being the next major hurdle. If such a scenario pans out, I am more bullish than bearish, especially on Bitcoin, with regulators such as the SEC, with the lawsuits against Coinbase and Binance and them deeming 13 or so cryptocurrencies as securities being illegally sold on their exchange. I think a lot of that market dominance is going to come out of the alts and continue for Bitcoin to climb. But what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. And now for the breaking news on everyone's mind. Is Gary Gensler about to get fired? Well, let's break this down, shall we? United States Representative Warren Davidson introduced the SEC Stabilization Act into the House of Representatives, announced on June 12th, just yesterday. One of the bill's main provisions is to fire Securities and Exchange Commission Chairman Gary Gensler. Davidson said in the statement, U.S. capital markets must be protected from a tyrannical chairman, including the current one. That's why I'm introducing legislation to fix the ongoing abuse of power and ensure protection that is in the best interest of the market for years to come. It's time for real reform and to fire Gary Gensler as the chairman of the SEC. How many of you agree with Senator Davidson? Let me know in the comments below. Davidson declared his intention to introduce the bill earlier this year. He made the announcement in reply to a tweet by Coinbase legal chief Paul Rep. Tom Emmer, who is the co-author of the bill. Emmer said the SEC Stabilization Act will make common sense changes to ensure the SEC's priorities are with the investors they are charged to protect and not the whims of its reckless chairman. Gary, no clarity, Gary. According to Fox News, the bill would remove Gensler from office and redistribute the power between the SEC chairman and commissioners. It would also add a sixth commissioner to the agency, disallow any party from holding a majority of the commission, and create an executive director position. And although the lawmakers did not mention cryptocurrency in their statements, both Davidson and Emmer are known to be pro-crypto and critical of Gensler's leadership at the SEC. Emmer has, for example, called Gensler a bad faith regulator, and Davidson is the vice chairman of the House Financial Services Committee, new subcommittee on digital assets, financial technology, and inclusion. Now, also, if this bill is put into place, can it remove Gary Gensler? Absolutely. But the million-dollar question becomes, will the bill be put in place? I would love to know your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. As pointed out here, and Max responded, the law in El Salvador is clear. Everything not Bitcoin is an unregistered security. Now the economy is booming and it's the safest country in the hemisphere. Let me know if you agree or disagree with Max Kaiser that everything minus Bitcoin is an unregistered security and that the SEC should continue their action against these alleged unregistered securities. And how do you think this is all likely to play out? Let me know in the comments right down below. And now let's break down our next story of the day and discuss that 100Xs are still very doable here in the crypto market, according to top crypto analysts. A venture capitalist who correctly called the 2022 crypto bottom isn't fazed by the ongoing turmoil in the digital asset markets. We have Chris Bernzik, partner at venture capital firm Placeholder, told his 261,000 Twitter followers that crypto is at a stage where people are doubting its future existence. And welcome to everyone joining us here in the live chat. Make sure to say hello. According to Bernzik, the current sentiment is part and parcel of market cycles that leads to massive gains down the road. Quoting him here, existential doubt about crypto's future in 2023 is the prerequisite for the types of multiples that people will gawk at in a few years. The specifics of doubt change each bear, but the doubt always emerges. Something that a consensus long by society doesn't print, 10 to 100 X's. Most people don't have the stomach to be doubted for so long and persist. Most hardcore doubters can't resist the temptation to pile on here, thinking they have won. It can feel overwhelming, but keep breathing, following all the facts, maintaining perspective. Blockchains are too important to our digital architectures and future distribution of truth and ownership to lose. Very powerful words here. Now, crypto prices cratered across the broad market last week after news broke regarding the U.S. SEC lawsuit against top global crypto exchange Binance and its CEO, Changpeng Zhao. The regulator alleged the company violated investor protection and security laws. In fact, there are many criminal charges now allegedly against CZ. And a day later, we all know the SEC launched their lawsuit against Coinbase for operating as an unregistered securities exchange, broker, and clearing agency. So there you have it. What are your thoughts surrounding 100Xs still existing in crypto? Let me know your honest thoughts in the comments below. And what cryptocurrencies do you feel have the potential to 100X over the course of the next market cycle? Let me know, and I'll be reading everyone's comments out loud towards the end of the show. And now for our next story of the day, let's discuss the latest updates with SEC versus Binance, and then we'll dive into the Winklevoss Twins $500,000 price prediction in which they're doubling down on despite, the bear market. We have witnessed especially the horrific bear of 2022 with the collapse of many exchanges, FTX being one of the majors. Now, with that being shared, fam, let's break down the latest with Binance and the SEC. Binance US asked the court to deny the security regulators' proposed temporary restraining order against its assets, claiming that the move would effectively end its business. So, another warning to remove all of your crypto from the exchanges, not your keys, not your cheese. In a June 12 filing, Binance US slammed the SEC's emergency motion for a temporary restraining order on its business, calling it draconian and unduly burdensome. The hearing on the temporary restraining order is scheduled for June 13th, which is today, in the U.S. District Court of the District of Columbia. As John Reed Stark shares here, SEC Binance Newsflash, Binance fights back. Binance CZ and the BAM defendants just filed a lengthy opposition pleadings to the SEC's emergency action, which is outlined right here. Binance US argued that the restraining order would force the closure of BAM Trading Services Inc., the entity that provides crypto trading and exchange services for Binance US, stating the following: the requested relief would primarily harm BAM customers, effectively put BAM out of business, and prevent BAM from defending itself in this litigation. Notably, Binance US took aim at the regulator's entire approach to pursuing legal action against it, asserting that all of the SEC's claims fail because the regulator has not yet identified a single security trading on BAM's platform, and at this time the SEC had alleged that at least 68 cryptocurrencies are securities. The SEC suggests that this is a foregone conclusion that crypto is a security, but that is not the case, that numerous crypto exchanges, including BAM, have operated in the United States for years without interference by the SEC, belies the claim that they are clearly covered by the security laws, the filing states. Furthermore, Binance US said it had made significant efforts to cooperate with an ongoing SEC investigation that began December 20th, 2020, and according to the filing, the results of the investigation have yielded more than 700,000 individual communications and bespoke data on its day-to-day operations. Now, the SEC first launched major legal action against Binance and its affiliates on June 5th, accusing the crypto exchange and failing to register as a securities exchange and for allowing U.S. customers to trade cryptos that it claims are securities. Now, additionally, the regulator accused Binance CEO CZ of being able to access Binance US customer funds and alleged to have moved $12 billion in Binance funds to a privately controlled entity called Merit Peak. And the next day, June 6th, the SEC filed the emergency motion for a temporary restraining order against Binance, requesting that assets held on Binance US be frozen until the crypto exchange can prove that the funds were not able to be moved by CZ or any other executive over at Binance. While both Binance and Binance US have repeatedly denied the SEC's claims on social media over the course of last week, a joint memorandum submitted alongside the filing marked the first official comment made regarding the accusations. It argued that the SEC is unable to identify a single instance in which BAM customer assets were mishandled or misused. Indeed, there is no emergency here at all other than the one manufactured by the SEC for its own purposes, the memorandum added. So there you have it. And quoting Max Kaiser from his recent episode of the Orange Pill Pod, the SEC is an 800-pound gorilla, and CZ is like Spud Webb. CZ lost from the moment that these proceedings began. And if you're not familiar with Spud Webb, he was one of the smallest NBA players back when I was a kid. So that's a great analogy. With that being shared, now let's break down our final story of the day, the moment you have all been waiting for, and then we'll dive into our live Q&A. Shout out to the Winklevoss Twins. They were recently interviewed, and they doubled down on their $500,000 Bitcoin price prediction. So here's what they had to say. And if you didn't know, the Winklevoss Twins are one of the largest hodlers of Bitcoin in the world. They got in very early, I think when Bitcoin was less than $10 through the Japan-based Mt. Gox exchange, which we all know collapsed in 2014 after fraudsters and hucksters stole about 850,000 Bitcoin from the customers. And they were recently asked some very good questions, but I want to dive deep into their particular price predictions. Asked here, you once said Bitcoin was the trade of the decade. Do you still believe that now? Cameron Winklevoss responded, it is still going to be the best investment of this decade. Bitcoin is similar to a honey badger. Whatever does not kill it makes it stronger, and it has been through a lot. Touche. Shout out to the honey badgers out there. We have gone through all these different phases with Bitcoin up to the point, and most recently, of course, the FTX scam Bankman-Fried fraud. Certainly the impact on the psyche of newer asset class and technology is enormous. The impact was large, and Bitcoin went down to about 15,000, but now we are back close to 30,000, so the market has clearly processed it. It is in the rearview mirror at this point. Bitcoin is super, super resilient. As Tyler mentioned earlier, you would have to shut off the internet to stop Bitcoin. Facts. To stop Bitcoin, you must shut off the internet. And even if you did that, I don't think it would stop Bitcoin because there's mesh nets and other alternative ways to use Bitcoin without the internet. Now, Tyler Winklevoss went on to share, our bull case for Bitcoin is that it will disrupt gold. If you do the math on 21 million in the supply of Bitcoin, the market cap of gold, let's say it is 10 trillion, maybe it's 11 trillion, somewhere in that ballpark. That puts one Bitcoin, if it disrupts gold, and gets that market cap at $500,000 per coin. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the Winklevoss twins. They go on to say, we obviously think Bitcoin does more than gold. It is programmable money. It could be the foundation for many other things that are built on top of it. And if you look at the properties that makes gold valuable, Bitcoin matches each attribute or does better. The gold disruption story of Bitcoin is super powerful. We believe in it. And that is why we think Bitcoin is still, despite the crypto winter, despite the beatings and all of these other headwinds, heavily undervalued. Very bold words, and I agree 100%. Where do you see the Bitcoin price in 5 years' time? Cameron responded, we usually take a decade view on it. When we wrote a piece on the value that predicted it being 500,000 Bitcoin, we said within the decade. Is that in 3 years from now or 9 years? The timing part is hard, but I think that Bitcoin created $1 trillion worth of value in under a decade and spawned many huge projects such as Ethereum and an entire asset class. If you look at the value increases in Bitcoin, it is this punctuated equilibrium where it is steady, 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 and then boom, it reaches a new price level. This is the new normal, so it could happen very quickly. And then when asked, what do you see as the greatest threat or opportunity for crypto's future? Tyler said governments can kind of slow it down and put in speed bumps or roadblocks. But ultimately, it's going to win. I find it hard to imagine any scenario 10 years out where cryptocurrency is not here. It is on a similar growth pattern as the early commercial internet, or potentially much greater, because this is not just the internet, it is the internet of money. It is supercharged. And when asked, what advice do you have for crypto investors? Tyler said, we cannot give investment advice. I would say conviction is really important, though, generally speaking, and investing patience is important. Doing business with regulated players is important, and get-rich-quick schemes are probably too good to be true. And Cameron chimed in, generally speaking, if you subscribe to Bitcoin being a store of value type investment, then the strategy is HODL the same way you would HODL gold. It is to buy and hold long-term investment. That is the approach we have taken. And for most people, that is probably the right approach. So there you have it. What are your thoughts surrounding them doubling down on their $500,000 price prediction for the King Crypto? Let me know in the comments right down below. And welcome to everyone here today in the live chat. Corey Loomis, good to see you. Sailing with Twins. Satwise Jenks in the building. We have Higher Colin. We have Bring Facts. We got eCoin. We got Extra Frosty. We got Lucas. What's poppin'? Juan Romero, Bitcoin Maximus, Megadon, LFC Liverpool Film Club, Tony Jeffries, Lazy Turtle. What's poppin'? Mike M, good morning and welcome. Appreciate you tuning in as always, fam. What are your guys' thoughts on Gary Gensler potentially being fired as the chairman of the SEC? Satwise says, if Bukele had his prisoners growing cannabis and shrooms for legal use and had the prisoners use it too, it would be an amazing case study. And I said, Bitcoin and cannabis is how to heal the world for show. Lazy says, hey, bud, I tried to hit you up with the QR code last night and it errored out, referring to the QR code for the Lightning Network here on the screen where you can zap me sats. I don't know why that is. Some people are unable to use it. Others are able to use it. I have to figure that out myself, but all good. Satwise says, if you want happy prison and all the international criticism of human rights abuse, it would go away. Good point. I guess a simple thanks for all you do would suffice until we figure out what's going on with your QR. Greatly appreciate that, Lazy. It's all good. Just by you tuning into the live show and participating in the live chat means the world to me. So much love and much respect. Someone asked, what wallet are you using? It works on my Phoenix wallet and I can research this. Lazy responded, I tried from Phoenix and Exodus. Interesting. One Love, Sailing with Twins, welcome. When did you do it? Because this was last night when I tried. Satwise says, damn, that's strange. Since we both use Phoenix, I'll try it today during the Q&A. Yeah, do let me know, Sat, if it does go through. If not, no worries. It could be something on my end. I'll have to look into it. I'll try again today when I get home. Yeah. I haven't done it since June 5th. Yeah, June 5th, I think, was the last time I got an email notification that I received something. I'll bring up yesterday's show on the wife's phone to check. Appreciate that, Sat. Lazy says, like I said, it was the same error for both wallets. Bit going between them was fine. I'll probably not found for any. All good, fam. We'll figure it out. We are in the building from Liverpool. Much love from Tony Jeffries. Appreciate you tuning in from the UK. Much love to everyone out there in Europe. So I couldn't scan the QR code until she rotated the phone and paused the video. I usually watch on my TV with the chat on my phone and the TV never fails to scan. Me thinks a larger code may help. Thank you for that. And with that being shared, let's make it larger and see if that solves the problem. Shall we? Because that would be a very easy solution. I just make that baby bigger. Let's see if that does the trick. If not, just let me know. And either way, no worries, but we will get to the bottom of it. Much love. What's good, Maximus? It's good to see you. What's new, Megadon? Always a pleasure. Juan Romero, Pura Vida. Hope you're having a fantastic day. I just tried again and it went through this time. Good to note, stat-wise, Bitcoin is great and I'm a whole coiner, says Corey Loomis, but Bitcoin can't keep up with the demand. 2.1 quadrillion sats only. Price per sat infinite. Rise over time. Better way for supply and demand. Data mean network. Word up, Corey. Appreciate you tuning in. Much love and much respect. Coin Father, what's good? 2.1 quadrillion sats, prices in sats, not Bitcoin. If they have to keep dividing the sats to accommodate increasing the price, supply of sats increases, defeating the fixed supply. I believe that we still in for massive gains for crypto, or Bitcoin rather. As mass adoption sets in, it can grow only and only grow, says Sailing with Twins. Word up. I think Bitcoin absolutely will continue. Also keep it in mind that the Bitcoin halving is roughly 10 months out. That's right around the corner as we head into 2024. Exciting times. Also, we have the Litecoin halving, I know, around the corner here, coming up very, very soon. So we shall see how this all plays out. Add decimal places to sats, change 2.1 quadrillion to 21 quadrillion, then 210 quadrillion. I don't even know these numbers. They're so big. Big gains in crypto. Keep stacking sats. You already know. You know the name of the game is DCA, dollar cost average. I believe the prices will be in bits like the dollar value, then sats as the penny equivalent. Word up, when sats ultimately become the core pricing unit, will likely be dead, or at 55, at least me, says Satwise Jenks. Satwise also says, but layer 2s and 3 solutions will likely subdivide the Satoshis per Corey's print. Good input there. Michael says, good morning. Welcome, Mr. Volkman. It's good to see you in the building. What's new? You have nice eyes and a kind smile, says Gregio. I don't know if you're referring to me, but if so, appreciate that. Fire Gary, support and spread the SEC. What is it? What is the name of this act again? The Stabilization Act. That's the correct term for it. So yeah, support the Stabilization Act against Gary Gensler. Crypto Casey made a great video on him yesterday. Says extra frosty. I believe exposing the corruption of banksters while Gary repeats fraudsters, hucksters, etc. Yeah, he's looking at his own reflection in the mirror. It's easy to talk about something, but when you're pointing the finger, 10 fingers are pointing back at no clarity Gary in this case. You know what I mean? Limited supply equals true value, 100%. We all know Bitcoin is the most scarce form of money to ever exist. There can only be 21 million Bitcoins ever in existence. And you can't say the same for Ethereum because we don't know what the supply cap is. And when it's a mystery, they can, pull the wool over your eyes, pull the hex over your eyes. Yeah, I mean, hey, I'm new here. A question for you, says Maxim Grisham. Why do you think the market dropped so sharply after the Fed announcement, and how long will it last? Hopefully it's temporary. I mean, this morning when the news came out, Bitcoin was above 26,000, so I thought we were seeing a temporary relief rally, but it was very short-lived, and we're only down 0.3% for the day, so I wouldn't even call this a dump. This is just your typical volatility. I think once we can overcome 30,000, we can continue our upwards trajectory for the year. I think the current high for the year is just under 31,000, but I feel once we get above that obstacle of 30,000, things will look brighter, but I don't know how long we're going to hang out here around the 25,000 range. And as pointed out, we did have a CME futures gap at around this mark, which seems to have closed, so that could be good for the future price action. But you guys let me know what you think. Live troubleshooting, love it. You got it, Juan Romero, whatever it takes, fam. Yeah, and I appreciate you joining us, Maxime, and hopefully you're enjoying the show. Yeah, haha, I meant you, yes. Well, appreciate that. Much love, Gregio, if I'm pronouncing your name right. When Gensler gone gorillas, eCoin, was good eCoin, haha. Have been in a 30% dump in 2016. Yeah, we've witnessed it. I mean, I wasn't here yet, but you obviously have witnessed it as an OG, so much love and much respect. What did you do as a result? Did you sell all of your Bitcoin in panic and get wrecked? Or did you just hodl and double down? And then eventually, you know what I mean? Market recovers. Life is good. Satwise says, fam, if possible, please try to scan your QR from the Lightning wallet, even if you can't send it. Just curious if the larger size worked for you. It did for me. And Kerf, that's the issue. Well, good to note. Yeah, so now it's a little larger. So if that does the trick. If not, no big deal. We'll, We'll get to the bottom of it, like I said. DCA at 25,000 every day. Yeah, I think 25,000 is a great price point, considering the all-time high is 69,000. So if you do the math, somebody could run the math for me. What are we at, a 60, 70% discount from the all-time high? I say that's an excellent opportunity to buy. Also, you got to factor in the halving is only 10 months away. Market typically goes parabolic after the halving, and in the year preceding the halving is when we typically reach the cycle peak. I would love to see a double top for the cycle peak. Could you imagine a multiple six-figure peak, like $300,000 plus? Could you imagine the Winklevoss twins prediction coming true and us hitting 500,000 in 2025? Wouldn't that be something? I mean, I would be ecstatic. Keep in mind, we have, Balaji, the former chief technology officer of Coinbase, more recently in the year. He was predicting $1 million Bitcoin price this year within 90 days. Obviously, that did not come into fruition, but hey, just a good point that anything could happen with the chaos we're witnessing around the world. DCA, 100%, 3%, 10%, laugh in the face of danger. That's right, and if you can't handle these 1% drops, you don't deserve the 10% God candles or 20% God candles. You know what I mean? Just saying. BEFD, thank you for the reminder. Bring facts. Rewinding to see what I missed. Have a happy day. Appreciate that, Volkman. Much love. Folks, this is a 14-year hold from today. With that in mind, the only thing one should do is accumulate on the huge dips. I love that you have the long-term perspective. That is very, very important. You know what I mean? I look at things long-term as well. Don't worry about the short-term volatility. Bitcoin is guaranteed to be very volatile because, as Michael Saylor once said, volatility equals life force, and Bitcoin has a lot of it. So expect it to go up, expect it to go down, expect mass sideways action. But over the long haul, the purchasing power of Bitcoin is guaranteed to go up, as Max Kaiser frequently says, because the purchasing power of the dollar is guaranteed to go down as they continue printing endless amounts of money and as the money printer continue to go. But you already know. Nope, hodl till today and forever. Love that Megadon. Definitely relate to you there. The QR code works, confirms Tony. Just sent over a few sats. The first time I have ever used a Lightning wallet. Yep, it works, from Liverpool. Congratulations on using Lightning. That's a big ordeal, and thank you for confirming that it does work, and that the secret was to make the QR code a little larger, because now we did so. And I also put the wallet address, or I typically put it in the description. Probably didn't today, but after the show I can go in there and edit it and add it for those having problems with the QR code. All good, family. Thank you. Within 4 days, Bitcoin to 1 million. Send it and let's go. How would that change your life, hypothetically speaking? When Bitcoin does hit 1 million, which we all know is inevitable, we just don't know what year it's going to occur, how would that transform your life? How would things change for you? Let me know. My life, honestly, I don't know how it would change because I'm not so addicted to monetary things, like physical things. Like wealth to me is having my future generations set up so they don't have to worry. You know what I mean? To where, yeah, exactly. There's nothing like a car. There's no physical thing that I feel would transform my life. There's no physical thing on a to-buy list. So for me, it's understanding that Bitcoin is the antidote and the escape valve to the matrix and to the enslavement of humanity. That means more to me than anything else in the world. And just knowing the technology of what it represents is all the reason I need to be bullish. Honestly, I don't even care about the price. I don't care if it's $500,000 or $1 million. What difference is it going to impact your life if Bitcoin is 10 million in 10 years or 500,000 in 10 years and just crosses the Winklevoss's target of 500,000? We all know it's going to eventually eclipse gold's market cap, right? So what's the difference? The dollar value is actually irrelevant. I only talk about it so much here on the channel because it's intriguing to talk about different influencers making different predictions, and it's good for a conversation. But at the end of the day, it's 100% irrelevant. I don't care what the dollar value is. I'm not obsessed with the dollar value now that I've been in Bitcoin for so long. Maybe when I first got started, I was addicted, checking my phone every minute. What's the Bitcoin price? What's the Bitcoin price? Now it's irrelevant. It's what the technology means for the world and for the people. You know what I mean? Being the escape valve outside the matrix. That, my friend, makes it priceless and invaluable. Don't forget, it's incorruptible. You know what I mean? It's uncensorable. It's immutable. It has all these benefits. You know what I mean? There's nothing like it in the world. It's truly decentralized. It's a form of money. It's a network. The hash rate continues to grow stronger and stronger. The Bitcoin hash rate just hit another all-time high this morning or last night. I saw news of, and it's going to continue, meaning the network is more secure than ever. It's going to continue to become more secure than ever. And Bitcoin price just typically follows these fundamentals of the hash rate. And I think that is a great lagging indicator. So just note your purchasing power guaranteed to go up with Bitcoin, as the purchasing power of the dollar is guaranteed to go down with fiat currency. Milton says Pura Vida. Pura Vida, for those not familiar with that term, it means pure life. I know that because I spent a few years in Costa Rica. Are you in Costa Rica, Milton? Let me know. Not too far out from El Salvador. I will DCA below 40,000 Bitcoin price, says Coin Father. That's what's up. Take advantage of it. Agree, JV. This Bitcoin is my children's future, period. The world is becoming a cruel place to be in, so they need a head start. Facts, exactly how I feel. Extra frosty. Time, folks. You get time with wealth because you don't have to work. If you don't have the discipline, it will be rotten anyone. I grow and learn because the good Lord afforded me. God bless you, fam. I'll give it a shot when I get home. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it, Lazy Turtle, and thanks for everyone for the sats. Always a pleasure. Coinfather JV, same mentality too. I don't care about the price. I am just preparing my lifeboat when fiat implodes 100%. The money already, your real character will come out. Prepare yourselves. Yeah, they say money is a magnifier. It shows you who you truly are, your true character. I do believe that 100%. You know what I mean? Kind of like a gun doesn't make a person bad or good. It just magnifies who they truly are. As a good person will use a gun to protect innocent people, and a bad person will use it to commit a violent crime. Same thing with money. Good people are going to use money for good reasons, and bad people can use money for bad reasons. That, my friend, is a fact. But with that being shared, fam, now for a recap of what I covered with you here in today's show. I broke down the latest technical analysis as Bitcoin price rejects the CPI boost as the market Fed rate pause odds near 95%. We also discussed Bitcoin getting closer to a 51% attack on the altcoin market. We also shared breaking news. U.S. lawmakers filed the SEC Stabilization Act to fire Gary Gensler. That's right. This is a big deal as lawmakers introduced this bill to remove the SEC chairman. We also discussed that 100Xs are still possible for crypto, according to top crypto analysts, as well as that all of the SEC's claims fail, says Binance US in their rebuttal motion to freeze their funds. And we also discussed the Winklevoss twins doubling down on their $500,000 Bitcoin price prediction. But where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to go next? Let me know in the comments.